Once a good girl's gone bad, she's gone forever. And your lyrics are, you probably read them better than I can. You probably sing them better than I can.
Easy for the girl to go bad. Once we gone, let's believe we gone forever.
Hello, lovely people. In honor of Women's History Month, as well as the 18th anniversary, today we are honoring, celebrating, and revisiting Rihanna's iconic, internationally acclaimed third studio album, Good Girl Gone Bad. As of late, I have seen several posts on social media of people online praising its timelessness and also how the album is still breaking streaming and certification records. Given that this album is officially an adult, which is freaking insane, I thought it was beyond necessary that I take the time to analyze the longevity, impact, and influence Good Girl Gone Bad not only had on me growing up, but how it is arguably Rihanna's best album. So before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, grab your snacks, get comfortable, as we take a trip back to the simpler days of 2007 when we saw Rihanna transform from teen hitmaker to international pop star. After being discovered in 2003 in her hometown of Barbados by producer Evan Rogers, Rogers took Rihanna under his wing after she nailed her audition and invited her to New York to record a demo tape in 2004, which included her breakout hit Ponder Replay. Throughout the next year, Rihanna balanced finishing school, recording a demo, and acquired a lawyer and manager as she signed on to Rogers' production company. Soon after, Rihanna was able to finalize her tape and soon dispatched it worldwide to several record labels, in which it eventually reached Def Jam Recordings, where the demo fell into the hands of then-president of the label, Jay-Z. Rihanna was then flown out to New York in 2005 for an audition in front of Jay-Z and other label executives, in which she sung the songs The Last Time and Ponder Replay off of her eventual debut album, as well as a cover of Whitney Houston's song For the Love of You. Rihanna once said that this experience in particular was when she got nervous. She was like, oh God, he's right there. I can't look. I remember being extremely quiet. I was very shy. I was cold the entire time. I had butterflies. I'm sitting across from Jay-Z, like Jay-Z. I was starstruck.
How soon after you stopping singing did you get a deal?
12 hours?
And 12 hours later, your manager called you or told...
No, 12 hours later we signed. We didn't really leave. We stayed in the building.
You didn't leave the building?
Right. It was pretty much that day. It was literally 12 hours later.
And Jay told you they...
3 a.m.
Rihanna went on to sign a 6-album recording contract in February 2005, and 6 months later released her debut album Music of the Sun in August of that year, which included the debut Caribbean Dancehall Billboard Hot 100 #2 hit record Ponder Replay, followed by her second single If It's Lovin' That You Want. Less than a year later, Rihanna quickly followed up with her sophomore album titled A Girl Like Me, which featured her first #1 hit song SOS and other widely popular songs such as Unfaithful and We Ride, all of which went diamond in my house with the way those videos were playing on TV all day, every day. Though A Girl Like Me sold nearly twice as much as her first album, became a top 10 album in several countries, and earned Rihanna a #1 hit song, and revealed a maturation of Rihanna's vocals through her ballads and genre expression, critics still questioned her vocal abilities and felt that the album was predictable and very similar to her first project. At this point, the expected yet unfair comparisons to Beyoncé were rampant, as Rihanna was called the Bayesian Beyoncé with her stunning looks, charisma, and up-tempo dance songs. As we all know, the industry loves to compare up-and-coming artists to the present crop of pop divas. After 2 years of paying homage to her Caribbean dancehall reggae-influenced roots with her first 2 albums, Rihanna took a few months to undergo an artistic metamorphosis to move away from the innocent teen pop star image to a more matured young woman that was shifting to the driver's seat of her career. This evolved era began with Rihanna chopping off her hair into a bob cut and dyeing her hair black, which was a fierce and stark contrast from the image Rihanna entered the industry with. When talking to MTV News in early 2007 about the new music she was working on, Rihanna said, "The new music is going in a different direction. Not on purpose, but I just want to hear something fresh and mostly up-tempo. I think that's where I want to go on this one. You feel different every album, and at this stage, I feel like I want to do a lot of up-tempo songs." In the beginning of May 2007, Rihanna unveiled the title of her highly anticipated third studio album titled Good Girl Gone Bad.
Good Girl Gone Bad. I know a lot of people are probably wondering why that title, but this album, for me, I feel really liberated after I recorded it and I listened to it. It makes me feel so good. Like, I wanted to do everything my way, you know, and it's kind of like a bad girl attitude. I got a little rebellious, I got a little attitude.
When asked in interviews throughout her album rollout what inspired the album title, Rihanna stated that she did not want to do the same boring thing as she did before. She wanted to show people the darker side of herself and just wanted to be independent. Over the previous few years, she mentioned how she had to suck it up and deal with the image the label created for her. She compared her first few years in the industry to a new job where you have to take what you have to until you climb the ladder, until you get to a point of independence where you don't have to follow the playbook anymore. Rihanna further explained that Good Girl Gone Bad presented her liberation as an artist and the release of the strict image she was forced to maintain. Rihanna teased to fans that we would hear a more confident person singing the records that would match the edgy sound and tone of the album. The album, which was recorded from late 2006 to early 2007, was written and produced by industry heavyweights such as The Dream, Neo, Timbaland, Stargate, and Tricky Stewart, in which the full team of collaborators created a 1980s influenced modern quintessential genre blending dance pop album that cemented Rihanna into the versatile certified hitmaker she eventually evolved to become. Rihanna launched her Good Girl Gone Bad era in March of 2007 by releasing her lead single Umbrella featuring Jay-Z. Co-written by Tricky Stewart, The Dream, Kaira just 2 months earlier, the song was initially made with Britney Spears in mind as a comeback single, but unfortunately her label Jive Records at the time rejected the song before Britney even heard it. The song was then shopped around to other labels and caught the interest of Tayo Cruz, but he was unable to persuade his label to release the song. After the second attempt, Tricky and The Dream offered the song to Mary J. Blige, but Mary had to turn down the record as well, as she once mentioned to Andy Cohen that it was during Grammy time for me, and it was a big Grammy time. I was nominated for 8 Grammys, and I was trying to get myself together for that. And during that time, that's when Umbrella came to me, and I couldn't do anything with it because I was so busy with my own life, and I was like, you know what? It doesn't even sound like me anyway. When record executive L.A. Reid sent the demo to Rihanna, Rihanna thought the song was initially interesting and weird, but grew to love the song as she said it kept getting better and better the more she played the demo. The Dream spoke on the task to find a singer for this record by saying, I watched myself walk in and write that record. The record was written for Britney Spears. She walked up to my manager and said, that's my effing record. Of course, when I heard she had said it in that way, I was like, that's the mother effer who should have the record. Eventually, Rihanna won the Umbrella Lottery and went on to record the song despite reservations from Tricky Stewart that she was the right artist for the record. But Tricky later said that when she recorded the Elas, you knew your life was about to change if you had anything to do with that record. When discussing the process for creating Umbrella, The Dream said when he first heard the hi-hat loop that Tricky was working on, he thought, I'm like, oh my god, what is that beat? Then Tricky starts putting some chords over it and immediately the word popped into my head, Umbrella. I ran over to the vocal booth and started singing. The next verse was written in 60 seconds. Then we had to grow it to the hook. Tricky would put the next chord on there and I was singing it out. When the sun shines, we'll shine together. I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. I was getting goosebumps. He went on to say that when creating the song, it was a typical day and no one really influenced the record per se. I felt in my heart that I needed a friend like this. I wanted to also be that person for someone else. It took maybe 15 minutes to get out the song. It began like a rap freestyle and it just never stopped pouring, metaphor after metaphor. I was in the zone and in a feeling that wasn't going to end until I finished what I had to say.
What does an umbrella mean to you? What does it symbolize?
Well, an umbrella, it symbolizes like protection. It just means when I say you could come under my umbrella, it means I have your back. Like I'm your shoulder to lean on. Like I got you.
Rihanna described Umbrella as the kind of song you didn't usually hear on the radio. With its pop, R&B, hip-hop, and rock sonic palette, it is purposely hard to categorize the genre as it is very catchy, infectious, and an addictive song. When you hear it, you want to keep hearing it over and over again. Umbrella was not initially a feature, but once Jay-Z heard the song, he loved it so much and wanted to hop on it, which surprised Rihanna. Though the song initially debuted at number 91 on the Billboard Hot 100, it gradually rose up the charts, eventually peaking at number 1 on the Hot 100 in its 7th week and remained on top for 7 consecutive weeks, becoming Rihanna's second number 1 song on the pop charts. The song also became the highest digital debut in the United States since the Nielsen SoundScan began tracking downloads in 2003, and achieved the biggest debut in the 6-year history of iTunes in the US, breaking the record previously held by Shakira and Wyclef Jean's Hips Don't Lie. By the end of 2007, Umbrella became the second best performing single in the Hot 100, only behind Beyoncé's Irreplaceable. In Europe, Umbrella performed incredibly well. The song entered the UK singles chart at number 1 based on digital sales alone, becoming Rihanna's first chart topper in the country, which helped contribute to the song eventually reaching a total of 10 weeks at number 1 on the chart, becoming the country's longest running number 1 single of the 21st century. Coincidentally, the song's success was marked by one of the worst floods in the UK as it rained non-stop the summer of 2007, in which they jokingly described this period as the Rihanna curse.
On that subject, you can't be surprised when a song called Umbrella did so well in a country that rains 98% of the time. We love umbrellas. We all own them.
I was thinking, like, because people started telling me that it was my fault.
Well, there was this kind of vague rumour going around, is this a curse?
I think your horrible weather helped my song to stay at #1 for so long.
Ah, it's that way around.
The music video, which was directed by Chris Applebaum, premiered on April 26, 2007 on Rihanna's website before being officially released on the iTunes Store on May 11, 2007. Peaking at #1 for a period of 8 weeks, Umbrella debuted on TRL at number 10 before reaching #1 on May 9th, where it remained for 15 days, making it the longest-running #1 of 2007. Rihanna mentioned how the Umbrella video could have been a narrative video, but she wanted to show people her growth by making it a performance video. The beginning of the video is a rock-influenced, as she had an idea for it to be artsy and editorial to show people her new image in a variety of expressive scenes and choreography. Everything about this song is legendary. Oh, and how can we forget her 2007 VMA performance? The second track of Good Girl Gone Bad, Push Up On Me, is a synth-heavy electro track that samples Lionel Richie's 1983 song of Running with the Night. Written and produced by J.R. Rotem and Girl Wonder, the song discusses Rihanna's desire to start a relationship with a man she fell in love with at a party. This song has a typical subject matter we hear in songs about love at first sight and wanting to be swept off your feet by a handsome guy, and I think the song highlights how Rihanna's tone and delivery can make what would probably be a filler track for anyone else sound as if it could be at the top of the dance electronic charts. Her euphoric, soothing melodies towards the last minute of the song is a perfect example of how Rihanna uniquely thrives on these type of eclectic productions. The third track and fourth single, Don't Stop the Music, is what I have to admit is my all-time favorite Rihanna song. Written by the powerhouse songwriting production duo Stargate, the track samples Michael Jackson's 1983 single Wanna Be Startin' Something. The bouncy dance pop track peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the Billboard's Dance Club Songs chart, which became her 6th chart topper in the dance genre, in which Rihanna eventually dominated that chart later into her career. Everything about this song and its pulsating beat exemplifies liberation and enjoyment. Out of all the songs on this album, Don't Stop the Music perfectly highlights the theme of the album and the stage of life Rihanna had entered and wanted to express to the listeners. She stated how much she wanted independence and freedom from the image cultivated for her, and this track in the music video, which was filmed in Prague, shows the carefree energy and glow she had just partying with her friends and having a good time without any pressure or expectations. I don't care what anyone says, anyone who doesn't like the song is a hater. It is an undeniable hit record that has aged immaculately. The fourth track, Breaking Dishes, which was written and produced by Tricky Stewart and The Dream, has had a truly unexpected resurgence and boost of commercial success in the year 2025. The initially underrated album cut features a very agitated and enraged Rihanna upset about her man, who she is suspecting is cheating on her since he is spending so many nights out late. Personally, this song still does not do anything for me, so you can imagine my surprise when I saw at the start of this year that 18 years after its debut, Breaking Dishes debuted at number 181 on the Billboard Global Exclusion US list, which charts the most popular songs in the world, excluding the United States. The song also reached number 144 on the Billboard Global 200, which marks Rihanna's first new hit on both rankings in over a year, despite not releasing anything new. Though the song was never released as a proper single, the song has recently been certified platinum by selling over 1 million copies and has become Rihanna's number 1 best-selling song across her entire catalog on a weekly basis as of March 2025.
Look at us, huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
The fifth track and second single, Shut Up and Drive, written and produced by Carl Sunken and Evan Rogers, which samples yet another 1983 song, Blue Monday by the British band New Order, is a melodic punk alternative dance track that features plenty of clever innuendos of Rihanna not actually raving about driving, but more so about the several types of ways her lover can pleasure and satisfy her by referencing car parts.
Today's final shot was the live performance. Me and my new band, we performed in a junkyard on top of all these cool cars.
Roll playback, please.
Although this is not one of my favorite songs from Rihanna, I adore her fun, flirty, sultry, and natural ability to look comfortable and cool in any genre and in any setting. When I think of Tyla's video for her song Push to Start, I automatically think of the video for Shut Up and Drive because it's pretty clear Rihanna was on the vision board for inspiration. Though the song peaked at number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100, it soared to number 1 on the U.S. dance club charts and eventually went on to sell over 3 million copies in the U.S. Lastly, I love her performance of this song on the David Letterman show because I could tell how much she genuinely liked the song and how expressive it made her feel compared to the other songs off the album. The 6th track and 3rd single, Hate That I Love You, which peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100, features a silky smooth R&B duet with Ne-Yo, who also co-wrote the song alongside the duo Stargate, who produced it as well. When describing the process in writing the song, Ne-Yo said, "When people tell me that my songwriting style seems like it could have come from the 60s, 70s, or early 80s, I take that as a compliment. Back in the day, people paid more attention to the poetics of the love song. Today, there's usually more sexual element than a romantic one. The best way to express an emotion like love is through storytelling. It makes it more I can relate to this character in this song because I've been through something similar. You hear that kind of storytelling in the song that I wrote for Rihanna called I Hate That I Love You." Rihanna describes this song as a situation of when you're in love with someone, even though they keep hurting you, you're so naive and you love them so much that you put all the negative behind even though you keep getting hurt. For whatever reason, this song as well as Unfaithful really tug at the heartstrings for my little elementary school self. That whole era of Ne-Yo's albums, in my own words, and Because of You was truly an unforgettable time period of classic R&B that can never be replicated. Ne-Yo's songwriting game is incomparable and I will forever give him his 10s for how beautifully crafted this song is. Aside from the music video, what makes this song even sweeter is their performance together at the American Music Awards and that flawless transition from Umbrella to Hate That I Love You. The 7th track, Say It, written by Neo Demetrix and Makeba Riddick, samples a 1990 song Flex by Mad Cobra. It is a love ballad that contains airy feather-like island-oriented elements that describes Rihanna encouraging her friend to admit the romantic feelings they clearly have for one another. Though this is not a bad song, it sounds like a track that should have been featured on one of Rihanna's first 2 albums. This song probably aged the worst out of all the songs on Good Girl Gone Bad, but I do appreciate Rihanna's delicate and ethereal vocals that transport you to an innocent schoolgirl crush that Rihanna, at age 19 at the time, probably was not too far removed from. The 8th track, Sell Me Candy, written and produced by Makeba Riddick, Timbaland, and The Dream, is unfortunately one of the most underrated songs of all time. Not just in Rihanna's discography, but truthfully in all of music history. To be quite honest, I was late to the Sell Me Candy hive, but as I grew and expanded my musical palette in recent years, I finally saw the light and realized it's usually the B-sides and album cuts of Rihanna projects that showcase the most maturation in Rihanna vocals that interestingly shine on fluffy and delicate tracks like this. I think this is the ultimate summer track, and I hope that it receives the recognition one day. As this one person tweeted, "Sell Me Candy is so good. Sorry, but that's the Rihanna song that should be going viral and not breaking dishes." The 9th track, Let Me Get That, produced by Timbaland and The Dream and written by the duo plus Jay-Z, is a distinct boom-bap track that is what I saw someone describe as the ultimate sugar baby anthem. And from re-listening to this specific track after a few years, I'm reminded why I rarely, if ever, paid this song any mind. It is not horrible, but it is not great either, but it easily could have been left off this album. The 10th track, Rehab, co-written and produced by Timbaland, Justin Timberlake, and Hannah Lake, is a melancholic R&B track that uses the title Rehab in a metaphorical way, about wanting to get over a guy that you can't seem to do because he's like a disease or an addiction. While Rihanna was accompanying Timbaland while he joined Justin on his 2007 tour, the trio went to the studio after a show in Chicago. When Justin came to the studio, he was just spitting out ideas and experimenting with beats and melodies. Weeks later, the three got together in New York City, where Timbaland had already conceptualized a track for Rihanna titled Rehab. Justin then hopped on and improvised the song over the foundation laid out by Timbaland, then proceeded to write out the lyrics. This song is yet another hit off this album, but let's be honest, am I the only one whose favorite part of the song is...
Ladies do that. Now give me that.
The penultimate track, Question Existing, co-written and produced by Ne-Yo, Jay-Z, Shay Taylor, and Makeba Riddick, narrates an emotional Rihanna essentially going through an existential crisis, and she was experiencing the inevitable stage celebrities endure as they go through intense scrutiny and question the price of fame, and if all the sacrifices and decisions they made was worth it. Given the amount of celebrity and success Rihanna attained at that point at age 19, this track is hauntingly authentic and believable because Rihanna has admittedly had a rough upbringing and worked tirelessly as a teenager to create a better future for herself. While this song does not have as much replay value as the other tracks, I believe this song is a genuine reflection of the personal hardships Rihanna faced that influenced her transition to who we now know as Bad Girl Riri. The final song and title track, Good Girl Gone Bad, co-written by Neo, Stargate, and Lena Marlin, is an underrated conclusion to such an entertaining album. This song is essentially a brief overview to the circumstances that force a girl to abandon her good girl ways to turn to the dark side of being a bad girl. A girl can only be patient but for so long when dealing with an unfaithful, no good, toxic, lying, and deceitful guy. When that patience and goodwill runs out, as Rihanna warns her listeners, when she is gone, that good girl is gone forever, and that guy is going to be regretful and remorseful that he did her wrong. For the 1-year anniversary of Good Girl Gone Bad in 2008, her label reissued the album and packaged it as Good Girl Gone Bad Reloaded, that featured 3 new additional tracks: If I Never See Your Face Again featuring Maroon 5, Disturbia, and Take a Bow, all of which are absolute bops, and it's also universally acclaimed as the latter 2 songs went number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. I mean, Rihanna and Adam Levine's voices on If I Never See Your Face Again just meshed so beautifully together that it is hard to believe that this song was initially meant to be a duet with Janet Jackson instead of Rihanna. Meanwhile, Disturbia accomplished the uncomfortable mental and depressive anguish that is highlighted in the song that creeps upon you when you least expect it. Finally, Take a Bow holds a special place in my heart for one reason only. If you watch the TV show The Game, then you know the exact scene I'm referring to.
For once, Tasha, just trust me.
Talking about, girl, I love you, you're the one. Well, this just looks like a rerun. Please.
Don't do this.
What else is on?
Tasha, you're gonna look back on this one day and be sorry.
Oh, and don't tell me you're sorry, cause you're not.
When asked if she felt pressure to make a great album rather than a few great singles, Rihanna said, "This time around, I just wanted to make an album that people could listen to from beginning to end without skipping any because it's always a waste of time for me going to the studio to record a song and then people skip it. When I buy an album, I hate that I have to skip songs and I just have 2 songs to listen to." Brandy's Aphrodisiac album really helped to inspire that as well, because that album I listened to all day, all night. When I was in the studio, that was the album that I listened to all the time and really admired that every song was a great song. You could listen to the entire album, and I was like, you know what, I have to make an album like this. This album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and sold 162,000 copies in its first week, which was Riri's highest first week sales figures at that time. As of today, the album is 7 times platinum, selling 7 million copies. At the 2008 Grammy Awards, the album scored 7 nominations, including Record and Song of the Year for Umbrella, in which Rihanna went on to win her first Grammy for Best Rap Song collaboration with Jay-Z for Umbrella. Rihanna also won 2 Mobile Awards for Best R&B Act and Best International Act in 2007, along with a Video of the Year and Monster Song of the Year for Umbrella at the 2007 VMAs. Lastly, Umbrella ranked number 333 in the 2001 Rolling Stones list for 500 greatest songs of all time. In September 2007 through January 2009, Rihanna embarked on her first worldwide Good Girl Gone Bad tour, which she performed 80 shows in North America, Oceania, Africa, Europe, and Asia. Aside from the commercial success and accolades earned, I honestly believe that Good Girl Gone Bad is Rihanna's first classic album. Though Rihanna does not show this album as much reference as she does for her most recent album, Anti, I think Good Girl Gone Bad uniquely followed the path paved by Mariah, Britney, and Christina by shedding the image of being a teen pop star by naturally stepping into their womanhood of artistry. Looking back, seeing Rihanna's new image was jarring, but her confidence, charisma, and commitment to getting better at her craft allowed the artistic transition to take place seamlessly and truthfully. The fusion of the electro-inspired sounds of the 80s, hip-hop, boom-bap, R&B, new wave, and dance pop jams was an experimental risk at the time, but what made it work was the flawless pairing of Rihanna and collaborators who are skilled at creating productions and melodies that showcase the beauty of Rihanna's limited but unique soft and warm tone that is skillfully capable of switching quickly and effortlessly into various ranges. I largely credit this album for launching her into international superstardom and creating the foundation who I believe is the greatest pop star of this generation. With Rihanna's increased involvement in the creative direction of this project, she said, "Bad girls take risk. We tried things on this album that we never tried before. My new look is purposely adult. I did what felt natural. I wanted to show growth as a person and artist. But for me, bad girl does not mean wild girl. It's more about taking chances, trying new things, visually and musically. The album is not really something that I decided to do. I decided in myself that I'm just going to do whatever I feel like, and it just came naturally. I didn't say, I'm going to put this on, it's going to be very sexy, it's going to be dark. I didn't really think about these things. So everything you see me doing now, I didn't pull inspiration from anybody that I've seen before. This is all me. It's something that I just feel like doing, and what you get is exactly me. All in all, I would say that Good Girl Gone Bad and Unapologetic bounces back and forth of taking the coveted spot of my favorite Rihanna album. But since this video is about celebrating Good Girl Gone Bad, I would say that my favorite tracks would be Umbrella, obviously, Sell Me Candy, Don't Stop the Music, Rehab, Hate That I Love You, and the title track. Please let me know in the comments how you all think Good Girl Gone Bad has aged since its release in 2007. What were your favorite songs then, and what are your favorite songs now? Where do you rank this album among Rihanna's discography? Do you think this album was her first classic, or did her classic come much later? Truthfully, do you think Rihanna should make a return to her music career, or has she solidified her legacy with an incredible discography that speaks for itself? Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell, and I'll see you next time.